Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today I'm gonna be talking about a topic that I am really not sure how it's gonna go on this channel, but I wanted to bring it up anyway because sometimes I get asked this question and I kind of want to just address my personal situation and my experience. So yeah. So something I noticed in my last video, I was wearing a powerlifting shirt, and today I'm wearing a Gold's Gym shirt. So maybe that's just gonna be my thing. I'm just gonna wear like fitness apparel while I film my videos. I don't know. We're gonna be talking about medication for anxiety and ADHD and depression, all those things, and my experience with it and why I choose not to participate in those medications. Yeah. I just kind of wanted to say too, if you are on medication for anything of this sort, like any mental issue or health problem or anything you have, it is okay. I am not saying don't take your medicine anymore, don't go to the counselors. Like, no, I'm not saying that. I am simply saying this is my experience with anxiety medicine and ADD medicine and why I chose to stop taking it. So if you take medication and it helps you, good. I am so glad it helps you. This is just my personal experience and why I don't take any medication and what I do instead. I guess I should start from the beginning. When I was 7 years old,
Once I was 7 years old,
I was terrified of getting sick. I mean, literally it would make me sick thinking about being afraid of being sick. So it was a big, like, messy situation. I went to a doctor and my parents basically had me go to a child therapist to figure out why I was feeling so worried about being sick all the time. I could never voice that to my parents for some strange reason, but I was able to tell this random stranger that I never knew before, because that's just how it was. And she ended up figuring out that I was really terrified of being sick, and that was pretty much where my anxiety was at. And the anxiety issue was so bad that I had to leave school sometimes because I would just have these awful panic attacks. I was diagnosed with ADD and anxiety, and because of that, they decided that they wanted to try to medicate me to be able to see if that would help. The medications had gone on for a few years, and I had started taking them when I was younger, between 7 and 10 years old. And you know, if you've been in this situation before, you know there's never one medication that works. It's always, oh, let's up the dosage, let's lower the dosage, let's change the medication, let's try the generic brand. I mean, I've been on so many different medications that it was a lot. And I can't even name them all, there were so many, but not all at the same time. I was not popping pills when I was in 4th grade, that was not happening. But I do know that the most helpful thing out of all of this was talking to a counselor. It wasn't even the medication, because the medication made me feel really gross. It made me feel kind of clammy all the time. I felt really jittery. I didn't feel good. It just was no fun. And if you know me, or anything about me, you know I am not a chill, laid back, not gonna really talk that much kind of person. So yeah. I guess let's fast forward to high school. My freshman year of high school, I went into my freshman year being on some form of Adderall. I don't remember which one. I don't know if it was extended release or not. And Zoloft. So I was taking those two at the same time, and I kind of wasn't really happy with how I was feeling, but I was still okay. And the problem with ADHD medicine or ADD medicine, if you know, or if you don't know, is it can really mess with your appetite. So it can make you really, really hungry or to have no appetite at all. And I was in the situation where I had no appetite at all, and I wasn't eating, and I wasn't getting the nutrients that I needed to go on with my life. Yeah, that was a problem. But around sophomore year, between sophomore and junior year, I decided that I did not want to be on any medications at all because of the way that they had made me feel. And I told my parents, and they were fine with it, and you know, they were fine with me getting off of the medications. So I ended up just quitting everything altogether. No counselors, no medications, no nothing. And I seemed to be doing okay. But around the time I started driving, so the end of my junior year, like 17 years old, things just started to kind of turn again, and I started having a lot more panic episodes, I guess. They weren't really panic attacks, they were just like situations where I would completely freak out over something that was not worth freaking out over. And it wasn't just like grades, it was like serious things that I was considering like, this is actually happening to me, when it really wasn't. And if you know how panic disorders go, you know that your brain will make up things that are completely illogical and make no sense, but your anxiety makes you think that it is real, so you just continue to panic and panic and panic about it. And that's what I was doing. So bad too, at one point I ended up in hospital because of a horrible panic attack that I had at my boyfriend's house, and it was really, really upsetting because I like passed out in his front yard, and I don't know why. Like, we couldn't really ever figure out why, but like I passed out and I ended up having to go to the emergency room, and they couldn't really figure out why, but it was definitely panic induced because of built up stress that I was not alleviating in a healthy way. It literally made me collapse, which was not fun. I can make another video about that if you guys want, but that was a really scary situation. Of course, because that happened, I ended up going back to a doctor, seeing a counselor again, figuring out, should I be back on medication? And I was for a while, and I was on the Daytrana patch, which is like a transdermal patch that you stick on your skin, on your hip, that releases chemicals into your body for ADD. And I was also on some form of antidepressant. I cannot remember which one, but it was one of the antidepressant medications. And with that, I just did not feel like a human when I was on those. The Daytrana made me really, really sick. Like, I felt queasy all the time. I didn't ever want to eat anything. I had really bad dry mouth. Like, I could not get rid of the dry mouth. And then the counteracting that with the antidepressant just made everything worse because it made me really, really like chill. I don't know what this piece of hair is doing. I didn't feel like me, and like, I am really outgoing and artsy, and I love to meet new people and talk and like hang out and do fun stuff. And like, being on that type of medication, I was literally like all the time. So that's not fun. To this day, it's probably been about 5 years since I had been on any medication at all for anything, and I am the happiest I've ever been. And I owe that to eating really healthy, reducing my caffeine intake, and meditating. Those are the 3 things that have really helped me overcome my anxiety and my depression and ADD. And being an adult with ADD does not make life any easier, but I have found natural ways to cope and deal with it, and eliminating certain foods from my diet has even been really, really great for me. But I hope you guys liked this video. I know this was a really random topic considering my last video was about my ancestry. So I don't know, if you liked it, thumbs up. If you don't, you don't have to subscribe to me, it's cool. I really don't have any video ideas either, so if you want to hit me up with some ideas, let me know.